Hi, Debbie here. I was asked to show how I make the paper look like leather the technique that I used on the little notebooks that I had made for the steampunk collaboration that I'm in. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you how I did that. It's really easy. I'm trying to squeeze in here. And there are a lot of different tutorials online that you can go see too, but this is the one that I do, and just to show you how I've got this little leather look. So I'm going to just set this here. Now you can use any paper. You can use colored paper. The one I'm going to be using is craft, but this technique works with any paper. That just depends on what you're trying to make. So any paper, any colors you can use. For this one, the colors I'm going to be using the Distress inks. I'm going to be using Wild Honey, Vintage Photo, and this one is Gathered Twigs. So those are what I'm going to be using to color my my paper once it's done. So what you do, and there are different ways on this also. I've seen this done with just water, and I've seen this done with water and glycerin. So that's what I'm going to be using, water and glycerin, and that's what I have in this little spray bottle. And it's like 1 part to 8 parts of, 1 part glycerin to 8 parts of water. So I just have some glycerin in here. And the glycerin I use is actually some glycerin that I used to use a long time ago when I made little flowers for when I was decorating cakes and stuff like that. So that's what I did here. And then after it's all finished in the way I like it, I will seal it with Mod Podge. So that's what I'm going to do here. So this is how I do that. And it's really basically you just spray your water on your paper, and then you gently just rub it into your paper. And I mean gently. When you're doing this and you start feeling the fibers coming up, that means you are rubbing too hard. You don't need to rub hard. It's just to help with the water to absorb into the paper. And then you'll flip it over and you'll just spray the other side. And then you just rub it in. This is just, the water just breaks down the fibers and the glycerin just helps condition the paper. And you just let it absorb into the paper. And I'm going to do it 2 times. I'm going to push it over, and then I'm going to do it again. Rub in the paper. And then I'm going to flip it over. And do it again. And just rub it around. And what's going to happen is the paper is going to start getting real soft. And then when it does that, I'm just going to let it sit here for a second. Let some of that absorb into the paper. That's what you see how soft it's getting. It's getting real black. What you're going to want to do now is you're actually going to want to pick it up and scrunch it. Scrunch it. And then very carefully, you're going to want to open it. Now, depending on the type of wrinkles that you want in your paper, if you want big wrinkles, then this would be all you'd be finished. If you want more smaller wrinkles in there, you're going to do this technique again with the water and the wrinkle, folding it up. So we're going to add a little bit more water. We're going to just very gently just put it into the paper. Yeah, I want to try this on white paper and black paper. I've only tried it on craft paper, but I think I'd like to try it on black so that I can use like silver and metallic paints, and also on white so I can try with some pastel colors just to see, because we all know leather comes in all colors. So it just depends on the look that you're looking for. And so what I'm going to do is just wait just a few seconds here to let that absorb a little bit. And now I'm going to pick it up, and now I'm going to fold it again. And then I'm going to take a look and see what I have as far as how many wrinkles I have and if I like it. Try not to put so much water in that when you squeeze it, water drips out. All you need to do is just wet the pages. You don't need to really saturate them. Now I'm going to open it up, and this is what I have here. And this really, I like that look right there, so I'm going to stop right here. If you wanted more, then you would just do this again. You would just spray it with your glycerin water, crunch it up, and then open it and see if that's the look that you're looking for. You can do one of two things now when you're at this stage. You can start inking them up while they're wet, because you can ink it up, the colors that you like. You can scrunch it up again to get the ink all in there, or you can just let this dry. And because I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to let it dry because I want to run it through an embossing folder. So this is what it's going to look like when it's dry. See the difference? So this one is dry. And for me to run it through an embossing folder, I really don't want to run it through the embossing folder this dry. It might rip, it might not, I really don't know, but what I'm going to do is I would spray it with just a little bit of water, just a little, just to dampen it just a little bit, and then I would run it through my embossing folder. I mean, you don't have to emboss it, but I kind of like the look of the embossing, and so that's what I've done with this piece. As you can see, I ran it through the embossing folder, so I have this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start coloring it. And I'm going to start with my lightest color first, which is going to be the wild honey. And I just take my pad and I just go over it like this. And you can see how that's come. It picks up all the and that's pretty just like that, without even adding any more color to it. That really turned out nice. And that's just, and you can use any colors you want. That depends. This is just the colors I chose, but I could have picked any colors. I could have, and it doesn't have to be 3 colors. Now, I've seen tutorials where just take shoe polish. Get a little rag, get some shoe polish, and just rub the shoe polish on. So I know, Marlene, I know you like to use shoe polish, and you can just rub it and get the same effect. Or if you have waxes, you can do that too. So there's so many different things. Any colors. I'm just going to use 3 just because I like that look. And then I'm going to rub this on. See, now see, I get a totally different look. And I kind of did it out of order, but that's okay. And now I'm going to put some vintage photo on top of that. And this is the look that I got. So this is how I did the faux leather technique for the little notebooks that I made for the collaboration. Also, if anybody's interested, I still have some left. If anybody would like to have one and you're a subscriber of mine, just email me your address. And I'll pick some people to get it out to. So anyway, this is how I made my faux leather paper. If you have any questions on anything that I did, just let me know in the comments and I'll get right back with you on that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.